Quite an emotive chat there, and of course it is upsetting to see that sometimes language jingoism takes the form of violence, and to bear the brunt is often the most deprived section of the society. Tara Deshpande joins us. Tara Deshpande is a prominent Mumbai person. She's also an actor. Tara, first of all, migration today is not a challenge, it's not a problem. It's nice that people are finding opportunities in different states. It's really sad that sometimes there is a real possibility of Mumbai going back to what it was in the 90s, the actual fear of being an outsider in a city that does not see anybody as an outsider. How do you, as a Mumbaiker, see this?
Well, I don't condone any form of violence. And I think that we are all one. This is our motherland. And we should care about each other and treat each other and our languages with respect. We are a very rare country in which we have more than 2,000 languages, and I'm not even counting dialects. Every language is precious. Every culture that it supports, of which it is a vehicle, is very precious, and we have to do our best to keep these languages alive. Just as I speak, Vasudha, 10 languages in India are going to go extinct. You know, Andamanese now is spoken by only one person on this planet. So languages do fade away if you're not careful. So protecting them is essential. But I think there are better ways to do it than being violent.
Right. But where do you draw the line, Tara? Because it is the opposition here that was pushing for the two-language policy and not the three-language policy. And I completely agree that, you know, states should not be told what they should be doing. In fact, people should be making this decision. But where does one draw the line between, say, being extremely respectful about a language like Marathi or Kannada, but at the same time not really going around hitting people, assaulting them because they don't speak the language that you want them to speak?
No, as I said, I don't condone any form of violence. It never works. It never has worked in the past. It's just sensational and can also, you know, rile up vote banks, and there can be reasons of political gain that this is being done. But I do feel that, you know, there needs to be an understanding of what the situation is exactly. You know, in Mumbai, things are different from the rest of Maharashtra. More people come to Mumbai than to any other city in Maharashtra, if I'm not wrong, possibly more than any other city in the country. So there's a great deal of immigration into this city. People come here not because they're in love with Mumbai. They leave their families behind. They're in dire distress. They have to earn for their family. So they come here and we hire them because we need help. So it's not a one-way street here. It's a give and take. We need labor. They have the labor to provide. They want to earn money, so they come here. So I think it's good to have a compromise and an understanding where the person who has come into Mumbai as a newcomer respects the existing languages here. And we, as the people who have been living here for many decades or generations, are understanding and caring about the other person too, understanding that not everyone can speak every language we wish them to speak.
Right.
But I do think it is important to understand that our country was distributed on a linguistic basis. I mean, the states were formed based on language. We've been like that for over 70 years.
Right.
So there's no debate about the fact that Marathi is the state language. It is the official language of Mumbai. It is the administration's language, and therefore it has to be respected.
Right. But Tara, what are the better ways to do something like you're suggesting? And I know I follow your Twitter account, your X account, where you put out recipes of your grandmother. You're a Marathi yourself. So tell us, what are the better ways of educating people on this? Because let me tell you, when the video of Karnataka State Bank officer came up, she was very defiantly proud of not speaking Kannada. That also was very hurtful, because you have to respect the language of the state that you're working in. So what are the better ways of sending out this message?
Well, you know, for starters, I'm a fourth generation Mumbaikar. But even though my parents are from the same community, my mother is actually a Kannada and Konkani speaker. My father is a Punekar, so he's a Marathi speaker. And when after I was born in Mumbai, I lived in Delhi for a couple of years. So actually, I speak better Hindi than I speak Marathi. But I do know that I speak Marathi too, and if a local person who speaks Marathi approaches me in that language, I will make best efforts to speak the Marathi. Though of course, पुण्यामध्ये सगळे माझे relatives माझी चेष्टा करतात की ही मुलगी काय मराठी बोलते, you know, what kind of Marathi she's speaking. They make fun of me, but it's loving because the effort is being made. So I think if you show people that you respect them, that you are making the effort, I think that's more than enough. No one is trying to force you to become a Marathi scholar, you know. So I think the best way to do it is, like the Bangalore case that you mentioned
Yes.
about the bank. See, there were many issues involved there. One is that you are in customer service. It is not for the customer to speak the language of your preference. It should be the other way around. So similarly, if I was to go to Bihar tomorrow, or I was to go to Uttaranchal, and I was to say, "Me Marathi madhes bolna," don't speak to me in Hindi. I don't talk Hindi. Why should I speak Hindi? Do you think that I will not get thrashed?
Absolutely.
Possibly, I will, unfortunately. If I go to Trivandrum and I refuse to speak the state language and I insist that I will only speak Hindi, I think it will upset locals over there. I'm not saying that violence is the answer. It should never be the answer. I don't agree with that. But I think educating people on both sides to be kind and understanding to each other will be helpful. And I say this because most of the people who don't speak Marathi at all are unskilled workers in dire conditions who come to our state.
Yes.
We should be more understanding to them, but also understand that if this becomes a state that is forcing languages on people, the skilled labor will choose to go elsewhere.
Right.
The best engineers, the best
Yes.
engineers, they will prefer to go to Chennai, or they will
Right.
prefer to go to another city where they don't feel that they're being threatened. So we have to have a balance where
Absolutely.
everybody feels safe,
Yeah.
everybody feels respected, and there are certainly ways to do that.
Absolutely. So languages should not go extinct. We have to respect languages, but at the same time, violence is a strict no. Violence needs to be condemned
Yes.
at all levels. Thank you, Tara Deshpande. Wonderful chatting with you. Thank you so much for joining us on NDTV.